Alrighty guys, we're back for Gruel Oil, and this is a Dragonstorm Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We have all four Evolving Adaptives. It's a 1 green mana 0/0, but it enters with an oil counter and gets +1/+1 for each oil counter on it. Also, whenever another creature you control enters, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put an oil counter on this creature. Nice. We have 3 Free from Flesh. It's a 1 red mana instant speed. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Put 2 oil counters on it. Okay. We have 3 Churning Reservoir. It's a 1 red mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on another target non-token artifact or creature you control. Also has a bottom ability that could potentially help us generate some goblins. Not going to take the time to go over it right now, though. We have all 4 Armored Scrapgorger for some mana fixing, for some ramp, but then also if it has 3 or more oil counters on it, it gets +3/+0, which is kind of no joke, honestly. Also, some graveyard hate too, which is kind of important right now. We have 4 Herd Heirlooms. This is a 2 mana artifact. You can tap it, add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. Okay. Or you can tap it until end of turn. Target creature you control with power 4 or greater gains trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, which really should come in handy. We have a Ruby Daring Tracker. We have 3 Filigree Sylex. This is a 2 mana legendary artifact. You can tap it to add an oil counter to the Filigree Sylex. You can tap it, sack it, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of oil counters on the Sylex. Or you can tap it, remove 10 oil counters from among permanents you control, and sacrifice the Filigree Sylex. It deals 10 damage to any target. And guys, I don't think that's going to be unheard of in this deck list at all, especially when we have creatures entering with a large number of oil counters, like Migloz Maze Crusher. 3 mana 4/4, it enters with 5 oil counters on it. Now you can use those oil counters on these 3 bottom abilities that I'm actually not going to take the time to go over right now, but they should really come in handy. We have 3 Contagious Vorrac, mainly for the Proliferate, should do the thing nicely. We have 3 Urabrask Forge, nice. We have a top end of 4 Evolved Spinoderms. This is a 4 mana 5/5. It enters with 4 oil counters on it. Now, it has trample as long as it has 2 or fewer oil counters. Otherwise, it has hexproof. Okay. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from this creature. Then if it has no oil counters on it, sacrifice it. So this should pair beautifully with the Herd Heirloom, huh? The bottom ability on the Heirloom. Give it trample while it still has hexproof or something. And it should be all too easy to go ahead and keep some oil counters on the Spinoderm too. So we'll see, huh? Now we have a couple top end Halana as well. The +1/+1 counter should really come in handy. The haste should really come in handy, right? So we'll see if Halana does the thing in this deck list. Over in the mana base, we have a couple Monumental Facades for more oil distribution, I guess. We have a couple Fabled Passage, all 4 Thornspire Verge, all 4 Copperline Gorge, and a Karplusan Forest packed in as well. It looks like we're heavily leaning towards the green, but remember the Verge is just going to tap for a red until you actually have a mountain or a forest on the board too, so that's kind of explaining the split in the mana base. Over here in the honorable mentions, guys, Exuberant Fuseling almost made the cut, and Snakeskin Veil could have been pretty good in here too. Okay, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? Dude, I think it's actually going to be pretty good, but standard scares me, huh? The power level of the deck lists. Oh, buddy. We'll see. We'll see if oil can keep up, huh? Ooh. I really like this hand. All right. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get the green down. Get the adaptive down. Now we have the decision between Scrapgorger and Ruby. And it would be Ruby if we had another 1-drop to play. Or 1 mana card at that point. It's going to be a cut down for the adaptive. They're just going to do it now before we untap, and I agree with the opponent. So right, the Verge is coming down, but is it going to be Ruby or Scrapgorger? I guess Ruby for the swing is totally fine. Now, Fabled Passage will be tapped, so technically we're not ramping into our top end quite yet. I think they'd want to take, well, whichever one they can't deal with, which would probably be the Spinoderm, because Halana gets picked up by Cutdown. And if they're a Cutdown deck list, they probably let us keep the Halana. Oh, they actually... Oh, we do see an untapped source too. So they do take the Scrapgorger. Luckily, untapped source for the turn means we can ramp into the Halana, which is probably better than ramping into the Spinoderm right now. Right? I think so. Yeah, because we'll be able to give haste to the Spinoderm. Although... Ooh. Oh, nice. Oh no, opponent, come back. It happens to the best of us. No. Oh man. I would have loved to play that out, but still a pretty good showcase of what the deck list is trying to do early on. We can imagine if Evolving Adaptive would have stuck around on the board, how good that would have been. Getting a boost from Ruby because toughness 2, right? And then getting another boost from Halana, toughness 3. And then at that point, since we tapped down Ruby on turn 3, we would have given those extra +1 counters to the Evolving Adaptive for a bigger swing as well. But I mean, you can't just expect the opponents to not remove your creatures. So I was just like thinking that through. Like if Adaptive did stick around on the board, that would have been pretty good. Yeah, yeah, the reach. The reach gets the best of us, let me tell you. That's funny. All right, opponent, what you bring it to the table, buddy? I like the hand so far. I'm keeping this. I would love to have a 1-drop, but we don't have too many 1-drops packed in, I guess. We can start with some deck thinning. For this hand especially, I'll grab a mountain. We'll wait till the end of the opponent's turn, just in case they care about exiling stuff from the grave. Okay, so it's going to be a Surveil land. We can go ahead and pop the Fabled Passage. Grab the mountain. Easy peasy. Yeah, with Ruby, if we had a 1-drop, yeah, free from flash. Well, that doesn't exactly do what I want it to do, but if we had one, like, we want to remember, like, haste, you can tap the bottom right away. With this, though, we probably go, well, I guess getting Ruby down is still pretty good. We'll get the swing. The big thing is, Herd Heirloom doesn't get popped by all the generic spot removal that Golgari could run, but it's still probably better to establish the creature. I would say Herd Heirloom if we had some of our 4-drops in hand. So right there, go for the throw. Obviously wouldn't have picked up the Herd Heirloom. And Evolving Adaptive would have been much better last turn because we would have tapped the Ruby for that for sure. All right, well, against Golgari, I don't mind just establishing Urabrask Forge. It should actually be pretty good, right? Although getting some other creatures down, well, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Like proliferate on the Vorrac and everything too. Oh no. Oh, Terra Sunder. No, my Forge, you monster. Oh no. Okay, Herd Heirloom. Yeah, you can't lead one heirloom into the other, so. Now I'm tempted by land on the Vorrac, right? Top 4 cards. We should easily find the land. Could be an untapped source. Yeah, we might as well get the Vorrac down. Like, yeah, technically it would be better. Oh, it's a colorless, so we don't have anything else for the turn. But that's okay. The facade is pretty good. Yeah, technically it would be better to establish the adaptive and everything, but if we get adaptive down and we don't play anything else for the turn, then this is also a cut-down style deck list, right? Probably free from flesh, as Herd Heirloom isn't doing too much here. And if they take one heirloom, we just play the other one anyways, so. Well, they do take one heirloom, which means they might have something else in hand. A deep cavern bat to take the other heirloom. Yep. That's a little bit bad because the heirloom could help us reestablish our hand when it comes time. Okay, more mana is not terrific. All right, let's get the adaptive down. And with Free from Flesh kind of acting as protection here, but also extra oil could be excellent. Also, Facade is open. It's activate only as a sorcery. So we probably want to do that, honestly, just like right now. Why not? Okay, it's probably not a cut down. We do have the swing. On to 15. Yeah, the opponent getting rid of the heirlooms when that was our best chance of restocking our hand, but our creatures aren't power 4 or greater yet anyways, but the adaptive can get there easy peasy. Fixes command. Oh no, each opponent sacrifices a creature with greatest power among creatures they control. Okay, that's just the Vorrac. Put 2+1/+1 counters, so they're boosting the deep cavern bat. Okay, so Vorrac gets sacrificed. They get a good swing with the deep cavern bat. Yeah, we need that Herd Heirloom back for sure, because we're gonna fizzle out. Oh no, it's mana. Oh no. Okay. All right, all in on the adaptive. Go, 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 go. So we could give it +4. We could swing for 7, but what if we? Whatever. Let's swing for 7, huh? I think at this point, if we are fizzled out, there's no guarantee. Like, if we keep Free from Flesh in hand and they pop the adaptive anyways, then we just have Free from Flesh in hand and we can top deck even more mana or something. Or we'll see like a third Herd Heirloom. Like, you just never know. So we might as well get the swing while we have the swing. They didn't have a chump blocker. Like, all that's pretty important. They go back up to 13. Ooh, okay. Migloz, Maze Crusher, is pretty good. Could start with the swing on the adaptive. We'll have 3 open. Artifact or enchantment. Yeah, we'll start with the swing. The adaptive's a 5/5, so Migloz isn't boosting it anyways. They do go for the chump. Oh, I guess they have Dread Knight's ability next turn to restock their hand. Oh, that's actually really bad, but there's no great way for us to get around that. Well, we'll see, huh? The extra counters on the deep cavern bat's really bad for us too. Anyone's game though right now. If we could find a way. Okay, they're gonna draw with us. Oh, with a second Mosswood Dread Knight. They're gonna just go for a 2-card draw this turn, down to 11. You know, if we see like, oh, they got a -2. Ooh, which one do we pop? Probably keep our 5/5, right?
And I don't appreciate it when people touch my things.
Too bad they don't have an artifact or enchantment beforehand. Right? Vigilance Menace, +2/+2. Just double checking, making sure that doesn't give reach or something. Okay, they go back up to 14, and our best bet is swinging at that Liliana. Well, we could do that next turn. Swing at them down to 9. Down to 9, they go back up to 12 with the Deep Cavern Bat swing. They'll have chump blockers then to keep the Liliana around, but either way, we're in way too much danger. So I'll just swing face. If we had a chance to keep the Maze Crusher around, then there would have been maybe a chance of seeing the Filigree Sylex off the top, because we did have 10 oil counters on the board. So that could have been pretty neat, right? But of course, we would have lost our adaptive, so we'd want to swing first, and then play the Sylex, then removed the 10 oil counters, which actually would have been insane. It's going to be Bitter Triumph and a cut down. Oh, buddy, we are out of this game, huh? With Bandit's talent on the board. it should be just a couple turns now. We're going to let the opponent play this out so I can see as much off the top as possible. Oh, Filigree Sylex, right? Dude, this would have been insane, but they had enough removal for a while. So if we could just get a second oil counter on this, it'd be a great way to pop the Bandit's Talent and the Deep Cavern Bat. I'll tell you what, the opponent chose correctly with this Herd Heirloom, right? For sure. Oh, Restless Cottage. Aw, I would have loved to try to pop the bat, but it would have been pretty hard to go an extra turn past this one. If I would have waited on the Facade, maybe. Like if I would have kept an oil counter ready on the Facade. You know what? I did have fun that game. The opponent gave us quite the uphill battle, huh? All right, let's keep the ball rolling. It kind of feels like it's doing the thing, right? I think so. I mean, if I, like... Yeah, if we had a chance with that Herd Heirloom or something. Okay, I think I like this. So we want to start with the Copperline Gorge. And I suppose the beginning of your upkeep doesn't really matter. I guess we try the creature. Because we could see a creature off the top that we'd really want to play with it. It's going to be a forest, another forge. Okay. So I guess Facade for a bigger swing. Churning Reservoir is fine, but I guess we swing first since it's upkeep. All right. It's not a terrible setup on the board, guys. It really, really isn't. Now, one thing in that last game, I don't know when we saw the Facade, but it could have been pretty good to wait to proliferate onto the Facade as well, right? Ooh, Evolved Spinoderm. Getting some top end is pretty sweet here. Urabrask Forge before combat, of course. For 4? Nice. No lightning strike or anything. That's pretty good, man. Now, the real question is, do we reservoir onto adaptive or forge? And I think it's forge, especially against Gruul colors. And then do we go Spinoderm or second forge? Oh, a little bit of ramp for the opponent. That should actually be pretty scary. Yeah, I think we go onto the forge. Because they don't have any blockers anyways. Oh, wow. Contagious Vorrac is really good. We probably do that. We probably do that. So let's go ahead, grab a forest, of course. I guess it doesn't matter too much based on what we have. All right. We want to decline because we want to proliferate. And then we will Facade onto the forge. Nice. Dude, this is sick, huh? I mean, the oil synergies can be crazy. Oh my goodness. So even if they find a way through these creatures, yeah, they don't find a way through. Ooh, a free from flesh as well. GG opponent. I thought they were going to let me have a fun swing for a second. So Forge would have come in. It would have boosted the... Oh, heck yeah, I had fun. Dude, the game is very concerned about our well-being today. Forge would have come down, boosted the adaptive, and then a nice full swing, and we had free from flesh to boost our trampling creature. That would have worked well, or we could have just put free from flesh on whatever creature they didn't block. I suppose the best block for the Overlord would have been the adaptive, so that's probably where they would have blocked. But if they didn't block, and let's say let's pretend they had more life total too, evolving adaptive getting a huge boost from the +2/+2 and the oil counters is kind of crazy, right? Like just a 1 mana +4/+4 for the adaptive specifically. It's really, really cool. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. I mean, that's what the deck list is trying to do. Guys, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And also, guys, for the YouTube side of things, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you, thank you. All right, the opponent goes first. This is definitely a slower hand. Let's keep it. Let's just try it, right? I think I might mulligan. If I'm like really, really going for victories, I think this might be a mulligan hand, honestly. So we'll give it a shot, see how it does. Okay, ooh. Okay. Okay, some Dimir Flash or Dimir Tempo is pretty scary. As they pass it back, no worries. They get ready. Oh my goodness, all 3 Maze Crushers, guys. Well, that's not what we want to see. Maybe the first 2 gets countered, huh? And then we'll actually land the 3rd one. Okay, dude, yeah. Nice. Nice. I feel like we don't really see Dimir Flash very often. And I kind of sort of like tempo decks, so I'm excited to see more of the opponent's deck list. We'll see if the Migloz lands. I have a feeling it does not, but we'll see. Okay, more mana isn't terrible, I guess. Oh, Fairy Mastermind. Okay, that's not as bad as a counterspell because landing a 4/4 is not bad at all. The Cutthroat. Oh, wow. Enduring Curiosity, too. They can swing in the air. Okay, dude. We're in danger, bro. Holy cow. Herd Heirloom. Nice. Okay. We got a great trade into the Curiosity. Unless we do go Free from Flash. And we also have the Migloz abilities, too. Free from Flash would be a little bit better. So we can keep those oil counters out there for now. Let's thin the deck list. Let's go ahead and grab a Mountain, easy peasy. All right, and then we go Herd Heirloom. Vigilance Menace would come in handy. It's +2/+2 until end of turn. I guess that could be a little better than Free from Flash, but probably not. Probably Free from Flash for the turn. Bottom ability on Heirloom or Contagious Vorrac. Probably bottom ability on Heirloom because we're in danger either way. Let's go for the swing, see what they block with. Probably Curiosity, right? Because it comes back. It has the Enduring ability. It just comes back as a very powerful enchantment instead of a creature. And then, yeah, they go for the block, but we don't accept that trade. So we have the Free from Flash or we have the ability. Since we have 2 open mana, I guess the ability might actually be a little better. Remove 2 oil counters. Yeah, since we have the open mana, we don't accept that trade. We get a little damage through. We draw off the Heirloom. And we get to keep the Free from Flash for a different creature or something. Now, Evolving Spinoderm's pretty good, but we're going to have a problem with these flyers in no time. Also, Cutthroat's getting through this turn, too. I wonder if we can find our Halana. That would be pretty good. Hey, they're drawing 3. Oh, no. In the right build, Enduring Curiosity is an absolute beast. An MVP. Another Cutthroat on their turn. Okay. Oh, Sylex. Okay, 5th mana comes down. They got 3 in the air. We can block on the ground maybe successfully. It depends on if these creatures land. We could try to start with the draw on the Heirloom here. Because again, we could find the Halana, maybe block in the air, but it might not land either. So again, just being stuck between a rock and a hard place, we're just going to go for the swing. It's definitely the most fun thing to do here, right? Okay, they're gonna let it go through. Let's go ahead, get some card draw here. We could also boost, get 6 through instead, but no, this is probably better. And we want to keep our mana open. Oh, Fairy Mastermind. Crap. That's right. I keep forgetting about that ability. Okay, Urabrask Forge. Okay. I think we're in danger, guys. Oh no. I think it was still worth looking for the card, right? Just any card, really. All right, let's see if they got a counterspell for the Evolved Spinoderm. And then they got a nice full swing. It is going to be a Phantom Interference. Oh, no, guys. All right, let's let them swing on in. Like I said, I kind of have a soft spot for tempo lists. The fun thing about tempo lists is it does a very similar thing to aggro deck lists, but it also just knows how to deal with your opponent's things really nicely too. All right, let's give Fairy Mastermind Free from Flesh. Yeah, there you go. So that could have potentially been a mulligan hand, first of all, right? But then also, we could have drawn a little better too. Like, we have a pretty good curve in this deck list. We could have seen some smaller things, or maybe found one of our 2 Halidals too at some point. But there's no guarantee that it would have landed anyways, so... All right, let's keep the ball rolling. We can easily get one more game in. I apologize for any background noise that might be getting picked up. Now, the last time we had a thunderstorm, you guys said my filters were perfect, that the thunder did not get picked up at all. But it's just like, it's just so loud on my end that it's unbelievable that the filters don't pick it up. You know what I mean? Or that the mic doesn't pick it up. All right, we'll give it a shot. I guess we can start with the Thornspire Verge without any issues. At that point, Herd Heirloom on 2 over the Sylex because there's a greater chance of seeing op-end creatures over anything that... Well, I guess we could start the oil on the Sylex. That also could have been pretty good, right? Okay, Heartfire Hero. Okay, this could have been another mulligan, guys, honestly. Oh, no. Oh, no. Double Heartfire Hero. They go ahead and just play the Demonic Ruckus for funsies, I guess. But also the +1/+1 counter. I guess, right? Ruby. Okay. So we have Herd Heirloom number 2 into Ruby. We could just play Ruby, swing. Double Heartfire Hero, super scary, man. We should go Sylex. It's a little bit of a boring play, but what we can do is actually Ruby off the Heirloom, and then pay Ruby with Sylex, and then get the oil ball rolling on the Sylex. Yeah, we need to pop these Heartfire Heroes. We might die this turn, though. Okay, the noise died down, guys. The noise died down from the storm. I can hear my own thoughts again. That's good news. Okay, Manifold Mouse. I don't think we die from a Monstrous Rage, right? Monstrous Rage would be onto Double Strike, be an additional 3. No, an additional 6, since it will have Double Strike. It'll be 15 total damage. So they're going to spread it wide here, turn inside out on the other hero. So even though it would have been much more damage the other way around, the opponent wanted to spread it wide, which I think is still a pretty good decision. All right. We do find mana, but first things first, we have to go Sylex, and we'll be taking 6 damage here from the Heartfire Heroes. So we're almost dead. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, guys. They also draw on the Ruckus too, so we have to keep keep blockers for the Manifold Mouse, but I have a feeling that they just have it anyways. We do have Herd Heirloom number 2. We could also keep Free From Flesh open. We can actually keep Free From Flesh open with the Ruby, so that kind of works. With the Vorrac, nothing to proliferate. Oh, no lands off the top. This top end would have been excellent here. But I'm pretty sure we're dead anyways. But let's see if keeping a blocker actually works and get the GGs ready. Because it could be all too easy. Taking the turn for setup when they had 2 Heartfire heroes was definitely a lot to deal with. But the Filigree Sylex really coming in handy. Aw, they just swing in the air. Oh no, it is another Heartfire hero too. I'll tell you what, that reach on the Halana, huh? Okay, they go ahead and boost the Heartfire hero. So either way, we would have died to the Heartfire hero next turn. Here you go, Slick Shot. There you go, buddy. Free From Flesh. Well, so far the Free From Flesh is doing the thing for the opponents, huh? No, they only needed the 1-3 there, but that's pretty funny. Guys, we could do better than that. Come on, one more. Let's do this. Let's end on a high note, and I'll take the mulligan more seriously too. Especially, like I said, now that I can hear my own thoughts. Oh man. Yeah, what the mic doesn't pick up is astounding sometimes. But either way, when it's so loud, I like, just in case it is getting picked up, I have to bring it up, you know, I have to say sorry or something. But no, we should be good. Should be good to go. Okay. This is like the best hand since the beginning of the video, right? The opponent goes first, unfortunately, but it might not be hyper aggro. Or incredibly fast Demir tempo. Or something else that's really scary. Yeah, I like this. We'll go ahead and pause until the opponent shows up. The opponent has arrived. Let's do this. Get the Copperline Gorge ready. Uh-oh, mountain. Okay, Demonic Ruckus. Oh dear. Oh dear. I can do this all day, says the opponent. What do I have? Whoa there. Okay, Heartfire hero. Demonic Ruckus. Hello, opponent. Where's my hello? Alright. So, Armored Scrapgorger, pretty good. At least we have Halana this time, but now we don't have a great way to deal with the Heartfire hero, which is definitely a problem. And it's already a 3-3. Oh, it would have been great to go first here, guys. It really would have helped us out. Free From Flesh should be really good for the adaptive, but the Heartfire hero with the menace and everything, I mean, that's a problem. Oh, Clockwork Percussionist, okay. We shouldn't try the block. We should let the Percussionist through. I feel like if they have a combat trick, okay, Shard Mage's Rescue. Well, it wasn't a Monstrous Rage. But if it was a Monstrous Rage and we lose the Scrapgorger, we don't have the ramp into Halana, and I think that would be incredibly bad. Yeah, getting Halana down. Well, now the Heartfire hero is a 5-5 though, so even Halana not helping us boost the adaptive. Oh yeah, actually the adaptive will be a 5-5, but next turn Heartfire hero is probably going to be a 6-6. Yeah, because it goes to a 3-3, then Halana boosts. It's above burn range, but it's not a great, or I should say it is a great target for Sheltered by Ghost now, so. All right, no attacks. We have to keep an emergency blocker, and we'll do our best. Okay, 4th mana, 2 cards in hand. It might not be a Sheltered by Ghost. Might be okay. A Manifold Mouse. Oh, crap, dude. And they keep 2 open, too. They don't even go for, yeah, they don't even go for the Offspring on that. So it's a 6-6 double strike. Oh, with Menace too, we'd have to double block. We'd lose both creatures. All right, well, I mean, if we die, we die. At that point, I might go one more, because the games have been so fast here. All right, good game, opponent. I mean, we knew they kept the mana open for a reason, but also double blocking the Heartfire hero still wouldn't have killed it anyways. And so we would have lost our two best creatures on the board, Scrapgorger and Free from Flesh in hand. There wouldn't have been many ways around that, huh? Okay, getting picked apart by Hyper Aggro here at the end. We're going to go one more. We're going to push it, guys. Win or lose, at the very least, I think the oil showcased the thing. But also, it is not standing up to the current standard, right? Sometimes, though, I mean, we just... Oh, no red source. We should mulligan, for sure. That would have been a pretty good hand, right? Keep 6. Let's send the Forest, because we still have the highest chance of just seeing more mana off the top. And we saw in that one game that Herd Heirloom can be pretty essential for keeping our hand stocked up. Okay, Kiora, okay. Another Herd Heirloom is pretty bad, though. Triple Heirloom not going to do too much for us, but we'll see. Ooh, another Kiora to the grave, and I don't mind seeing Fabled Passage here at all. Because that gives us some deck thinning, which we're going to desperately need. Some deck thinning here. Because we need to see creatures off the top. Any creatures, even early creatures will be good. Ooh, Flying Death Touch Lifelink, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad news for our Migloz, but we do have ways to give it Menace. So we can't get around the blocker, but the lifelink too. Hallandal, hi. Hello. So we won't have 1 mana on the board. If we go Hallandal, we won't have the 1 mana to actually give this Vigilance and Menace. That might be better. Just to get a swing for 4, they gain 3. Don't establish the Hallandal yet. Herd Heirloom. Then spend the other mana. We will have open mana next turn too, even if we miss the untapped source, right? Vigilance Menace. Okay. Then draw 2. Nice. This is actually really cool, right? It's really neat. Oh, we do find some mana to play this turn. So we have Free from Flesh open and the top ability on the Migloz again, which I guess doesn't matter too much here, but yeah, they have the swing. They go back up to 19. Hallandal does have the reach. Say its name. Ooh. Okay. Okay, Awaken the Honored Dead. So some Sultai Graveyard from the opponent. This should be an interesting game, guys, for real. This should be very interesting. Oh, they do find a Quag Feast. So Migloz is out of the equation. Okay, another creature off the top would be pretty good here. Hey, there we go. Okay. That's not bad. We still have 4 open, too. This is crazy with the Herd Heirloom, of course. That's not bad at all, guys. It really, really isn't. All right, let's see what we can get done with this Herd Heirloom. For real, the extra card draw should be terrific, but if the opponent drops 2 pieces of spot removal on both creatures, then we're in danger. Going to be a Kiora. They might want to keep blockers back, but with the Migloz ability being able to give Menace, if they lose both creatures, I don't think they'd mind too much. It looks like they really like their graveyard being stocked up here. All right, Urabrask's Forge, not terrible. Just want to make sure we have, well, yeah, they do keep 2 back for the Menace. Trample, Free from Flash. 1 second, opponent. I am thinking, buddy, because there's definitely something to do here. We can't use the Herd Heirloom for the abilities on this. We got 1 mana open. Hopefully that's not a cut down for the Hallandale. I think they would have done it already or before we untapped. Also, Free from Flesh protects us from the cut down too. So a full swing. Double block the Migloz. Just maximize the damage and draw 2 on the Heirloom. I think that's totally fine. How do you guys feel about that? Or draw 3 on the Heirloom? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably fine. Let's do this. Make sure you activate this before they block. Oh, the Vigilance, though. Wow. Before we swing is when you actually want to activate that, guys. But it's going to die anyways because of the Death Touch. So that's pretty important. All right, it's still going to get damage through. So we want to go ahead, give it Trample. We're going to be drawing 3, which is crazy. And then we maximize the damage. 5 damage getting through. Migloz dies. They go up to 9 because they gain 3 off the lifelink, but we draw 3. Okay, the 4th Herd Heirloom is so unnecessary, guys. Oh, Awaken the Honored Dead. So they're going to pop the Hallandale for sure. And then what's this do next turn? Oh, Urborg Scavengers. Exile target card. They're going to take the Hallandale for First Strike and Reach. Huh. Okay. So Hallandale sticking on the board would have been great for the Spinoderm for sure. Now we just want to establish as much as possible. Which probably means Urabrask Forge, even though we're not getting through well right now. And then that means Herd Heirloom number 4. And then that means Ruby. And then Evolved Spinoderm. Alright, Hexproof should really come in handy. With First Strike Reach, I mean, it doesn't have lifelink, so we might as well swing. They do block it, of course. Alright, anyone's game for real. Ooh, Primal Dawn. Okay. Okay, they do activate the Revenant ability. First Strike, Reach, Flying, Death Touch, Lifelink, Double Strike. Oh, it's when it attacks too. Oh, guys, holy cow, the opponent's deck list is really cool. Oh, man. All right, they go up to 17. We find mana off the top. Oh, no. Let's do some deck thinning. Let's find a forest. And Free from Flesh. Ruby gets the boost. We're going to die from the Scavenger Swing next turn, right? So we need to draw as much as possible. A good swing. It really is. Yeah, Ruby gets the boost from the Spinoderm. They still got 2 cards in hand, too, so... Okay, we're already in the blocking step, so... Our Hexproof Spinoderm is getting through since it has Hexproof. Unless they have something really fancy to get around the Hexproof, which I guess would be like a nowhere to run. But then Free from Flesh is also acting as protection for that too. Speaking of Free from Flesh, we're probably going to die. So we might as well maximize damage. Get another 2 going through. And then when we draw the 4... Yeah, 12 damage. Guys, this is insane, huh? And they gained so much life this game, and the Urborg Scavengers just popping off. That was really, really cool. Oh, Hallandale. Wow, if they don't have removal, we can block it. Vigilance, Flying, Double Strike, First Strike, Indestructible, Reach, Trample, Death Touch, Lifelink. Okay. It doesn't have Menace. So there's a chance that Hallandale can block it in the air, giving us another turn. Let's see what happens. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to Awaken the Honored Dead. What on earth does it do? You may discard a card. When you do, return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. Go ahead. They just grab a Willow Rush Verge for an untapped source. Gives them 8 mana. Urborg Scavengers. They take... Look, Goldvein Hydra gives Vigilance, Trample, Haste. Oh, that's so sick, dude. That's so cool. So Scavengers will get the +1/+1 counter. We're forced to block there. They get 3/3 on the Scavengers. They gain 4 from the Scavengers up to 9. They both have Vigilance, so they block so well. What's this now? Vigilance, Flying, Haste, Hexproof. Okay, that one doesn't have the double strike. So we block here. Oh my goodness. They dropped the GGs. Oh, Trample, Trample. Yeah, good game, opponent. Good game. I wasn't even thinking about the Trample, guys. I wasn't. There's just too much on each of these cards to consider. I thought maybe we'd get one more turn, but without the Hal and Al, there we go. Without their haste, I mean, that would have been pretty tough to break through anyways, because we would have needed the haste on the Spinoderm, then the trample. I mean, even with both of these having vigilance, I'd say best case scenario for this match could have been maybe Filigree Sylex. Oh, but indestructible. Yeah, there's just too many keywords to keep track of on the Scavengers. That's what the opponent's deck list was built around for sure, and it was really, really cool, wasn't it? All right, guys. I can't even be mad about that. It's just really neat. Here's the deck list again. Gruul Oil. It definitely struggled to keep up with the current standard. For sure, for sure. We could definitely consider more removal. Just like in general, removal is pretty important in standard right now. There's just too many important creatures that you have to remove or you're going to die. And just having the Filigree Sylex. Number one, this deck list wasn't built to be like a mid-range or a control deck list. We are very much trying to do the aggro thing, ramp into that top end as fast as possible, get these just huge chunky creatures that the opponents just can't deal with. And that, I think that concept kind of came through a little bit in the showcase, but at the same time, when you do ramp into those big chunky creatures, you're always going to have trouble with like a Heartfire Hero. If you don't have clean removal for it, it's always going to be a problem, because even if you do ramp above it, which is still pretty hard to do as Heartfire Hero grows every turn, even if you do ramp above it, it's still going to be a really powerful blocker that when they do end up blocking, it's still going to hit your face and then they're going to be flying in. I'll tell you what, the reach on the Hallandau, I guess, was really important. And there's a lot of flyers, huh? There's a lot of flyers flying about right now. And like every single one of those games, there was a flyer to worry about. So that's really something to consider. A lot of really neat oil synergies and just a really neat curve here too. Migloz is one of those cards where if Gruul made an appearance, would Migloz have made an appearance in Gruul? And I guess the Gruul that we see most of is the Heartfire Hero deck lists, right? The I don't know if we want to call it Gruul Fling, but I guess it's kind of sort of maybe like Gruul Spellslingers or something. And Migloz obviously did not make the cut in that deck list, but it's just like there's so much value on this creature, and a 3-mana 4/4 is pretty good stats too. But the fact that it has a lot of utility packed in as well, I really like this, but it does probably just belong in an oil deck list like this deck list. And by the way, guys, put it on the do not craft list for sure. Rotation happening at the end of the year. We will be losing Phyrexia. All will be one. So there's a lot of cards in here rotating out this year, and there's a lot of rares packed in. Filigree Sylex and Migloz, Urabrask Forge, Hallandau's rare, but this one got reprinted in Foundations, and Evolved Spinoderm is rare as well. Herd Heirloom. I've been having a lot of fun with Herd Heirloom. Have you guys been trying this one out? But it's been pretty successful in the builds that I've been playing it with. In this build in particular, I don't know why we saw so many heirlooms. We could probably deal well with 3. and maybe go up more creatures. I could see that working well for us. I could also see Free from Flesh being maybe like a 2 of and going up again more creatures. I think more creatures was required today for sure. Other than that, Scrapgorger, Ruby, Adaptive, and Reservoir are uncommon. Then Vorrac and Free from Flesh are common. So I'd say this is a pretty expensive deck list overall, because I didn't even go over the mana base, which of course is a ton of extra rares too. So definitely put it on the do not craft list. It's going to be a little janky, especially if you see anything half as powerful as what we saw today, which I think is very likely. So it's probably going to be pretty janky. At the same time, there could have been some unlucky moments today too. There could have been some better mulligans from myself, right? So some better mulligans. Maybe we could have had faster starts. Now, I say I want more creatures, like dropping a Herd Heirloom down to 3, dropping a Free from Flesh down to maybe even 1 or 2, right? Maybe 1, and then going up creatures. But I just got done saying too, some removal really could have helped out this deck list. What removal would you look at? You probably don't want fight or bite spells. I think you'd want some burn, and you'd want some burn that can actually hit the opponent's face too. So probably like Lightning Strike or something. If you're dropping a couple Free from Flesh, some Burst Lightning would not hurt anything. Like a couple Burst Lightning and then drop a Herd Heirloom for a 1 Lightning Strike too. And I would be tempted to drop the Ruby for like a 2nd Lightning Strike, but Ruby was actually pretty good today. It's funny because I went Gruul Oil and we got the whole oil theme, but we also just have some decent Gruul value cards like that Ruby. And the Ruby works really well with the Migloz and the top end Spinoderm with that ability, but then also works really well with all of our 1-drops too. If you see Ruby on 2 and you had multiple adaptives, like if you go adaptive turn 1, Ruby on 2, you can still play a Churning Reservoir on 2 as well, and that's a really good turn 2 setup. Or you can play a 2nd adaptive for that matter. And then if you go like curve right into a Contagious Vorrac and then boost the adaptives and then proliferate onto the adaptives, dude, that's actually pretty crazy, because if you still have the Ruby at that point and you curved out nicely with the land, you could still keep a Free from Flesh open. Now that's obviously asking for a lot, but there are insane lines of play here that can go really, really fast. We just didn't get to see it today. Again, it's because it's asking for a lot. A couple other things, guys. I could see Forge going down to 2 or maybe even 1. I do like that it fits the oil theme, but again, just more creatures could really go the extra mile, or just packing in some extra burn. Now, me personally, I'm not going to change anything with the deck list, because I think if we do change it, it's going to just it's going to be a complete overhaul of the deck list too. So if we're dropping 6 cards and going up 6 cards, then it's just not the same deck list anymore, right? So, all right, guys. Oh, the 2 Monumental Facades were good. If you have any more of these, it is going to be a little punishing sometimes when it comes time to actually play out your Gruul cards. If you have all 4, there's going to be turns where you see, or there's going to be games where you see 2 Facades and a Copperline Gorge. You don't have Ruby, you don't have Migloz. That could be really, really bad. If you have all 4, there could be games where you see 3 Facades and only 1 dual land or something too. It's going to be more rare, but I think the 2 of is right on. And then the 2 of Fabled Passage is probably right on too, for about how much we want to do deck thinning in this deck list in particular, with just the 23 mana. It makes a lot of sense. I think the mana felt good overall. Yeah, I liked this, guys. I wish it could have performed a little bit better. I think if we do some rearranging and we do add some burn, it could be better. So maybe there will be an oil revisit before actual rotation. We'll see. We'll see. If we do an oil revisit, though, I do want to visit oil control at some point too. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe both. We'll see what happens in the upcoming sets as well. See what new cards we could consider for it, because Herd Heirloom was the new card considered for this, because Churning Reservoir, we could always pack extra tokens, or I'm sorry, extra counters onto the Herd Heirloom ready to remove with the Filigree Sylex or something. Sylex didn't do as much as I thought today, and that's because it's just really hard to keep things on the board, huh? There's just so much removal all the time. I could also see 2 Filigree Sylex, guys. Yeah, that's a huge overhaul. So what could I see? Let's recap real quick because I'm not changing it, but we could drop 2 free from flesh. We could drop a Filigree Sylex. We could drop a Herd Heirloom. That's 4 cards so far. We could probably drop a couple Forge. That's 6 cards. And then I would go up maybe like 3 burn pieces or 4 burn pieces and make sure the burn can hit the opponent's face for this style of deck list. And then maybe a couple creatures. And I don't know if they have to be oil creatures. They could probably just be value creatures and be quite successful. Maybe make it work with the Herd Heirloom, even though you're going down to 3. Some value creatures that are actually really good right now, and I've been having a lot of success with, is Vorrac. Elusive Hunter, that's one. But then also, Vorrac the Hunt Caller has been pretty good for me too. Both of these could be good. You probably don't want Hunt Caller when we already have 6 4-drops though. We're trying to ramp into those 4-drops anyways off of Heirloom, Scrapgorger, and Ruby, so that's 9 pieces of ramp right there until you drop that Herd Heirloom down to 3. Anyways, guys, I'm talking like you're putting this list together. Do not craft this list. If you already have all the cards, though, I mean, there's still some fun to be had here for sure. If you already have everything, you don't have to craft a single thing. Yeah, give it a shot. Get back to me. Let me know if you do a little better than I did. So, all right. I think that's everything. Enough rambling, huh? We're almost an hour in. If you made it this far in the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video.